everyone. Today I am so excited to take you inside the Baba and Nyonya Museum in Malacca, Malaysia. The Baba and Nyonya people are also called the Peranakans, and they are a mix of Chinese and Malay culture. The architecture is very special because it mixes Chinese traditions and Malay-style designs. The ground floor is the main hall, which was used for greeting guests and showing off the family's wealth. The courtyard is right in the middle of the house, and it feels open like a little sky window. The furniture in the hall is made of heavy dark wood, decorated with carvings and inlaid marble. I saw an old wooden stand with a typewriter on it, and it looked like people used to write letters or important notes there many years ago. I also saw the ancestral altar, which is where the family used to pray for their ancestors every single day. In the courtyard, I saw a deep old water well, and it made me think about how families had to pull up water in buckets before taps were invented. The wooden chairs have carvings that look like flowers and dragons. The floor tiles are super colorful and shiny, and the windows are tall with beautiful wooden frames. After the hall, I went to the dining room, which had a very long table with many chairs around it. The table looked ready to host a big family feast, with porcelain plates and silver cutlery shining under the light. I imagined the family sitting together, eating delicious Peranakan food like laksa and dumplings. The courtyard is just next to the dining area of the house, and it is open to the sky. Sunlight comes in and makes the place bright and warm. Next to the dining room, there was the kitchen, which looked very different from the kitchens we have today. There were large clay stoves, heavy pots, and wooden shelves full of old cooking utensils. It made me think about how much effort it must have taken to prepare food without a fridge, oven, or microwave. The kitchen has big clay stoves for cooking food. The heavy iron pots looked very old. The steamer was used for cooking buns, dumplings, and cakes with hot steam. The rice barrel was round and strong, and it looked heavy even when empty. The shelves were full of jars and bottles for spices. I saw an old wooden ironing table in the house that looked different from the ones we use now. This is the old ice box in the house, which looked like a big wooden chest. They used it to keep food and drinks cold before refrigerators existed. This is the coconut grinder in the kitchen, and it looked like a heavy metal machine. There's stone grinders in the kitchen that were used to grind grains into flour. The stones were heavy and looked very strong. During mealtime, the cook would ring a little bell to call the children from the back staircase so they could come and eat dinner. The staircase had shiny carved railings, and I held them tightly as I imagined kids from the past running up and down. Even the toilets were part of the tour, and they were so simple compared to our modern bathrooms. They showed how people managed their daily life in olden times, and I found it funny but also very educational. On the walls, there are old photographs of family members and paintings that make the room feel alive with memories. The walls are full of old family photos that show the Baba and Nyonya people long ago. The shiny ancestral altar where the family used to pray every day was filled with golden decorations, red lamps, and incense sticks. After finishing the ground floor, we climbed up the wooden staircase that led to the first floor. On the first floor, we entered the recreation hall, which was like the family's living room. The house has tall wooden windows with beautiful carvings on the frames. Walking further, we entered the bedrooms, which were really elegant and beautiful. The parents' bedroom had a large wooden bed covered with a mosquito net that looked like a royal canopy. The bed was so tall that I imagined I would need a little stool just to climb onto it. In every bedroom, I noticed mirrors, cupboards, and dressing tables, which showed how much the Baba and Nyonya people cared about looking nice. The clothes on display were amazing, especially the kabayas and sarongs worn by Nyonya ladies. There were also sparkling jewelry pieces, like necklaces, brooches, and shiny hairpins that looked fit for a princess. The museum has lots of wooden furniture that looks very old but strong. Every piece of furniture feels like it has a story from the family who lived here long ago. The wood is polished and shiny, and it smells a little sweet and earthy. The Nyonya ladies wore colorful kabayas with fancy embroidery. The clothes looked very elegant and royal, even though they were for everyday wear long ago. The embroidery told stories of flowers, dragons, and traditional symbols. Some shirts and jackets for men were decorated with buttons and patterns from China. I also saw cabinets full of porcelain bowls, teapots, and other treasures that must have been very valuable to the family. Some of the furniture looked like it came all the way from China or Europe, which shows how connected the Peranakans were to the world. Some furniture has tiny drawers for keeping jewelry or important papers. The recreation hall had wooden chairs, round tables, and spaces where people could sit together, play games, or chat. The hall also had musical instruments, so maybe the family played songs in the evenings. Some corners had cabinets with toys, books, or decorations from the past. The hall felt warm and cozy, almost like the heart of the house. I wished I could join in the fun and play games with the children from the olden days. The museum is right in the heart of town, very close to Junker Street, where many tourists walk every day. The Baba and Nyonya Museum is not just a place with old furniture, it is a place that keeps culture alive. The museum made me realize that culture is something very precious, and we should never forget it. Every piece of furniture, every carving, and every little detail inside the house was carefully kept safe. It was like stepping out of one world and returning to another when I walked back outside. When I reached the end of the tour, I didn't want to leave because I was enjoying it so much. If you ever visit Malacca, I really recommend visiting this museum. It will make you feel like you are traveling back in time to meet the Baba and Nyonya people. I hope you enjoyed joining me on this little journey through the museum. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so I can share more adventures with you.